Hi everyone, this is Rashim Mogha, and today I'm going to share with you 5 tips for constant career growth. Now, a few days back, I was delivering a keynote, and someone in the audience asked me, "What are your top 5 tips for career growth?" And I thought it would be a great idea to share my tips with you as well, my YouTube audience. So here we are. So, to grow in your career, when you start thinking about your career growth, it's very important to focus on learning. And by learning, I do not mean a training event or a long term MBA program, for example. What I mean is continuous learning. Focus on identifying the key skills that you need for your current job and how you're going to acquire them. Build a plan around that. It's important to understand how your company works, how your department works, and how you contribute to the overall initiatives of the company. It's very important to understand also the top trends of the industry that you work in. So, if you haven't already built in that practice of continuous learning, make sure you do that now for your constant career growth. The second tip that I have for you is to be curious. Now, leaders are never done learning. They're continuously seeking for new answers. They're continuously looking for new opportunities to learn new things, to innovate, to be agile, and to be nimble. So, when you start thinking about your leadership journey, your career growth, make sure that you are curious, you ask questions, you talk to people within your network and outside your network, people who directly relate to your work stream and who do not relate to your work stream. And by doing that, what you are doing is you're expanding the way that you think about ideas. You are expanding your way in terms of how you strategize about things. And that comes in handy. So be curious. Now, the third tip that I have for you is to invest in yourself. I know during the days we get busy, our operational mind takes over and our creative mind takes a backseat. But what you need to do is to be a leader, to focus on your growth, to focus on the strategies that you are going to implement. You need to give your brain that creative time, and you'll have to carve out that time for yourself. So every day, take out at least 30 minutes for yourself to be able to sit down with your big ideas notebook, as I say, and think about all the crazy ideas that come to your mind. Make a note of those ideas. It's very, very important that you give your mind that space to think beyond the operations. Remember that we use our different parts of our brain for creative and operational work. So, for me, if you take my example, I need to shut down on my operations brain to bring up my creative brain and start thinking about strategy. And that's why I carve out those 30 minutes every day in my work to be able to focus on the creative strategies. And it can be about how am I going to grow the business? How am I going to think about this product that I'm bringing to the customers completely differently? Are there any out of the box ideas that I have that I should be thinking about? And that's what investing in yourself does. It carves out that space for you to think outside the box. The fourth tip that I have for you is to build your network. Yes, it's extremely, extremely important to think about your network differently. It's not just about people whom you communicate with in everyday life. How are you thinking about industry leaders? Do you have an intellectual network that can help you bounce off ideas differently? So just don't think about your network within the organization. Also understand what people and leaders are doing in the industry and form that network with them. Have those intellectual conversations with them. It'll help you grow in your career and think about things differently. You should also think about how you're going to leverage your mentors and your sponsors and your coaches. So, if you do not know what's the difference between mentors and sponsors and how to leverage sponsors, I have a 3-part video series that I did on identifying and leveraging sponsors that I'm going to put in the show notes below so that you can access that. And then the last tip that I have for you, which is the most important tip, is to take risks. Yes, be uncomfortable in a situation. Try to look out for opportunities that give you a chance to learn new skills, to think about things differently. If I look at my career has never been linear. I've always taken risks and gone into roles that have given me an opportunity to think about things differently and grow. So if you feel a little uncomfortable, know that that's normal. When you take risks, it's by default, you'll feel like an imposter. You feel like, oh my God, this is making me uncomfortable. This is not a good situation for me to be in. Ask yourself this question: am I going to get an opportunity to learn new skills? Is it going to align with my overall career goals? And if the answer is yes, go ahead and take that risk. And there you are. Those are my 5 tips for constant career growth. I would love to see how these tips work out for you. All the best and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye bye.